Good morning and welcome to The Invisible Body, an online church that is based in Taupo, New Zealand. I am your pastor, Christine. If you are here for the first time, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. It's really good to see you. Today we're starting a sermon while walking series. I've found that my life has got somewhat crazy busy, and sitting down and recording these videos has become harder and harder to do in the time space that I have. So I've decided I'm going to try and start doing it while out walking my dog in the beautiful surroundings that I live in. So this place is only about 5 minutes from my home, so it's a great place to walk and contemplate the world and meditate and pray and do a sermon. So a few days ago I came across a piece of art that has really stuck with me. It was a painting of Mary sitting on a stool, facing the camera, facing the audience, with her legs apart, giving birth to Jesus. She's screaming in pain. Jesus is halfway out. You can't see anything that you don't want to see, but you can see a baby appearing from between her legs. And Joseph is on his knees next to her, helping give birth to Jesus. Now, I was really impacted by this piece of art because it's so raw. I haven't seen a piece of art quite like it before. I've seen, the Nativity scene where Jesus is born. I've seen Joseph and Mary riding into Bethlehem on a donkey. I've seen a pregnant Mary being hugged by Joseph. I've even seen pieces of art of Mary exhausted after giving birth. I've never seen a piece of art of Mary giving birth in the process of. And it really hit me because it was such a raw, visceral, human act. And I you know that it happened, but you don't really think about it in terms of it actually happening. What was it like in the midst of that? Labour in a stable with no midwife and no medical care, and a young woman giving birth for the first time, which I've never given birth, but I've heard the first time is always scary for a new mother. A husband who probably never expected to actually be part of the birthing service, because that would not have been a man's role back in the day. And so, then you've got the squalling baby being halfway out of its mother, and you think that is our Jesus, halfway out of Mary. And then this morning I was reading John 1:1-14, which starts with, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And then it goes on to talk about how the Word stepped down into our world, became flesh, and was born to live among us. And I was really just contemplating that, and at the moment there's a lot of talk about, the Saturn and I think it's Mars or something is aligning for the first time in hundreds of years, and it's going to produce the first Bethlehem star in the night sky, and all this kind of stuff. At the same time we're talking, we're celebrating the Nativity. We're also talking about these massive celestial things happening in our solar system. And I started thinking about God creating the galaxy, that big swirling mass of billions upon billions of stars, and then picking one little tiny star that had one little tiny solar system, and then picking one little tiny planet in that solar system that is, full of life. And then thinking about our earth and thinking about how I live in a small town in a small country, and it seems fairly big to me, you know. And then I think about the rest of the world and all the people in it and all the different countries and all the different languages, and I think, far out, this place is huge. But actually, in terms of what God has created, it's very small. And he picked this small planet, and then he picked a small country, and then he picked a young woman and chose to enter her uterus, her womb, to grow as a small baby and be born into a very small stable. It blows my mind, you know, that Jesus was this small child in a very small place, and yet he had created all of this. He had stepped into his creation. He had helped create his own mother, his own father, well, Joseph, his own stepfather. He had helped create the animals that surrounded him. He helped create the people who came up with how to build a stable, how to make a manger. He was the creator of all, and he grew as a tiny child inside Mary. And he didn't suddenly, come out as a baby. He went through the whole 9 months of growth, of being these tiny little cells growing into a baby. And that blows my mind. I don't know if it blows your mind, but it blows my mind. But yeah, it blows my mind to think that this is our God, that his love for us was so strong that this is how he showed it. That he came into his own creation as something so weak and so small and so vulnerable. And this is the Nativity. And I think that is incredible. So today, I would like us to really dwell in that story, in that amazingness, in that love that was so strong and so big that it came in such a small package. And how does that love then leak out of us to others? How are we showing the love of Christ that would give up everything, all power, all fame, all everything, to step into a life of love for others? What does that look like for us? And what can we do to continue his story? As St. Francis of Assisi used to say, at all times preach the gospel, when necessary use words. How will we preach the gospel during this Christmas season to all people that we encounter? Particularly, things can be very stressful. I know that people are in lockdown and COVID. Other people are dealing with the usual Christmas stress. How will we show love during this time? Love that gives up everything to be with others. So yes, that is the sermon for today. Go well, read John 1:1-14. Have a real think about how we will emulate Christ in this, and meditate on the size of the galaxy, the size of the solar system, the size of our world, and then the size of Jesus in it. Yes. So church, thank you for being with me today. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day and blessed week. I love you, and if you ever need anything, please feel free to contact me. I will Zoom with you, I will pray with you, I will pray for you, however I can help you during this time. Okay, love you all. Bye.